When you set up an account with WordPress.com, you're also setting up a public profile. The information in this profile will be attached when you post pages or posts on your blog or comment on yours or other WordPressers' blogs. Your public profile can contain as much or as little information as you want and can be edited at any time. When you make changes to your public profile, these changes are immediately reflected in any location where your profile is displayed. There are two main ways to access your profile when you're logged into WordPress.com. You can either do it through the WordPress.com toolbar by going to your profile here in the upper right corner and clicking Edit My Profile, or you can go to the dashboard and then scroll down to Users and click My Profile. Both will take you to the same place, My Public Profile. At the very top of this page, you'll see an important piece of information. Information entered below will be displayed publicly on your profile and in Gravatar hovercards. That means anything you put on this page will be displayed publicly and people can access it. So it's a good idea to not share information you don't want, like email addresses you don't want people to know about, or passwords or personal information you don't want to share with anyone else. That said, it's really important that you fill out this profile, because it's annoying for people to go to a blog or a website on the internet and then not be able to find out who the person is behind the scenes, who's actually doing the work. Normally, when you fill this out, you'd fill it out with your own personal information. So for instance, under basic details, if I was filling this out for myself, I'd put in information about myself. You'll notice here at the top that under username, you can now change your username. This is a fairly new feature. It wasn't always available, so you can now change your username if you want to, although I don't recommend it. You usually pick a username you want and then you stick with it. Below that, you just fill in your regular information. So you'll fill in your first name, your last name, and your full name. This is because some people have odd names with middle names and all that kind of stuff. I don't, but I'll still fill it out. And then below that, you have this box that says display name publicly as. That's because in some cases people use monikers instead of real names, like I do, or they may have a strange name where they have 100 syllables in the name and they want to shorten it down, or they might not want to display their middle name or shorten it to something else. In my case, because no one ever spells my first name correctly, one of my friends came up with a new way of spelling it, which is the one I use for pretty much everything these days. So instead of saying More10, I spell it out the way it's pronounced. More10, and that's how I like to display my name publicly. However, if I wanted it any different way, I could just change it to whatever I want. Now in this project, we're going to be working on a site for this gallery, the Samoka gallery. So instead of putting in my information, I'm going to put in Samoka, and then delete the last name, delete the full name, and then display publicly as Samoka News. Because that's the name of the site, and people should know that when I comment on their blogs from the site, I'm commenting on behalf of Samoka News. I can also put in the location of my gallery, so I'll say Ventura, California, and then I can put in a bio. Now this is important. If you put something in the About You box, which basically serves as the bio box for your profile, you'll trigger a function in WordPress that displays your bio on the site. What it does is it appends your bio along with your picture and some very short information to every post you post inside your site. So whenever you write an article, either at the bottom or the top of the article, you'll see a little box that displays your picture and then your name and then your bio so people know who wrote the post. If you don't want that to appear, simply don't put anything in the About You box and it won't appear. I want it to appear, so I'm going to paste in some biographical information about the gallery, and then just edit it down so that it looks nice. And now I've filled in my basic details so I can update my profile. And once I save anything in WordPress, WordPress will give me this nice little warning at the top saying profile saved or post saved or whatever to tell me that something has changed. This is good, so I know that when I click the button, it actually worked. Below the basic details is contacts. And I just want to reiterate that anything you put here becomes public information, so people can find it. So if you signed up for WordPress.com using your private email account or one you don't want to get a lot of spam or you don't want people to have direct access to, you want to put the public email address here instead, the one that you want people to use when they contact you. In this case, I want to use the same address. So I'll just say info@samoka.org. And below here, you can put in other contact means that you can use if you want people to contact you, like AIM or Google Talk or ICQ, and so on and so on. All this information will be displayed publicly with your profile, which is great for something like an organization, because then I can add a mobile phone number or work phone number to the organization, and then people can see that and call me based on it. I'm going to skip the photos for the next movie, but at the very bottom here, you have two more important boxes. The first one is links. Links allows you to link other websites to your profile, so you can show off other websites you're working on. For example, if you have both a company website and a blog, you might want to add your company website to this list so people, when they find your profile, can see that you're also associated with these other websites. You simply put in a URL for the website you want to link to, and also a title, which is what will actually display as the name of the website. And then you click Add Link, and you can add more links if you want to. At the very bottom, you have this Verified External Services function. The Verified External Services allow you to verify your account to other accounts from other verified sources, like Facebook and Flickr and Foursquare and Twitter and so on. What happens is when you verify your account with any of these other accounts, you're giving people a way of seeing that this account is associated with all these other ones, so that probably means that this is the right person. Because as we all know, some people will go on the internet and create fake accounts and pretend to be someone else. But if you link all these things together, then it becomes easy for people to see that this is the same person across all these different platforms. The best way to illustrate that is just to show you my personal profile on Gravatar. So if I go to gravatar.com/Morten, you'll see that here is a picture of me with my name, the way I set it under display publicly as, so Morten, and my short bio, and the other sites I linked to under linked. And then up here, we have verified services. So you can see I verified through Twitter, Flickr, and LinkedIn. That way people, when they land on this page, can see that this is probably me because all these things are linked together. Once you've set up your links, your verified accounts, and your contacts, and your basic information, remember to click Update Profile so that you update all the information you put in. If you don't click Update Profile, anything you put in will simply disappear and you have to start over. A WordPress.com profile is the public information attached to your account. In other words, it lets people know who you are when you post pages, posts, or comments. It's up to you to decide how much or how little you want to share about yourself in the profile. And like I said in the beginning, you can always change anything in your profile later.